Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Uh, this video I want to make, and again, I'm doing it live just because it takes me so long to upload a video, and I'm pretty comfortable in my ability to just jump on live and just throw some words out there. I don't need to go back and do all this fine touch and editing and everything else. And I don't know, maybe that doesn't make me a popular YouTube guy because I don't have fancy everything all over. I don't care. Um, but I hope you really enjoy these videos. I enjoy actually making them. This is pretty fun for me. But I was having a conversation again with another martial arts buddy. Like I said in my other videos, I have friends all over the world, different martial arts and stuff. And I like to get together and we chat with these guys, chat with these guys. And a lot of them have just decades of really good experience. And it's nice to get their insights. But there's some things that are just I don't care what martial art you come from. It's the same. They encounter the same things. And what we were talking about are the kinds of people that we've experienced in classes. And I've been training for decades. It's almost 40 years now. Long time. Started out in boxing and kickboxing, got into jiu-jitsu and judo, karate, and everything else. Did some Filipino arts and stuff, just different kinds of arts. But consistently, I've been training in Bujinkan budo-taijutsu, which is the art that I currently, it's my primary martial art. And my name is Darren Dumas. I am the owner and instructor at Bujinkan Hikan Dojo here in Roseville, California. And that is the art that we train in is Bujinkan Budo Taijutsu, which I'm not going to get into the history and background. You can go to my website, check it out. I have a public Facebook page too. The links are in at the end of this video, and it's on here. But this art in particular seems to attract some really bizarre behaviors, but I've seen it in other arts as well. And my friends from other martial arts, they talk about too, just really bizarre behaviors and just kinds of people that I've never seen anything else like martial arts attract. And so in our discussions, it really came down to where we identified 5 types of people that we have seen consistently, that we can pinpoint and categorize people into one of those or one or more of those 5 categories. But these categories always exist. They're always there. And of course, there's exceptions. You have people that really are so out there that they kind of just they're in a category of their own. They whatever. But these 5 categories, in my opinion, and the opinions of them, really seems to fit. Um, I guarantee when you hear these, you're going to immediately think of people you know that fit in those categories. And I guarantee there's one or more categories that you yourself fit in. You may not want to admit it, or you may think you fit into one of those categories, but if you ask other people, they may tell you differently. So, and that's always fun to discover that people perceive you differently than what you think you are. Um, but anyway, so these are the 5. So this first one is martial scholars. Now, these are the people that they can tell you where a technique originated. They can tell you the history. They can cite every possible academia topic involved in the martial art that you're training in to people, sharing their knowledge or what they know. And oftentimes they kind of hover around the instructor because they're like the 1,000 questions guy, the one that just wants to know this and that. And like in our martial art, we have more than one ruha or historical lineage that we work with. And a common question will be, people training a technique, they're like, oh, what ruha does that come from? Is it Kotoru, Gyokaru, whatever? That's not going to help them get better at the technique. That's just satisfying a mental curiosity that they have. Or the people that'll watch thousands of hours of videos and read books and websites and everything to gain knowledge, but they won't actually go into a dojo and train for any real respectable length of time. these are martial scholars, and they have their use. They have a point where they can share different knowledge and learn different things, but really their ability level just doesn't jive. The next one you have are martial technicians. These are the guys that study technique. They can tell you you got to turn your foot a quarter inch, or this is where the kyushu points are. Like they tell you all these details, and technically it's perfect. They can replicate a technique exactly down to the letter and everything else. And they're the ones that are just like, oh, this is exactly the way you do it, and there's no other way to do it, and this is it. Those are your martial technicians, and they also have their benefits because they have a lot of knowledge and skill, because they can really replicate that technique. They can really, their precision is good. They train hard. They focus on those details, and they can, if you say I want to see Renyo from Gokuru, they will do it exactly the way it's written, or at least the way they were taught, consistently every time. But they're also the ones that dogmatically tell you that that's the way you got to do it, and anything else is wrong. Then you have the martial marketeers. These are the people that, for them, it's a business. Everything is a business. And you go to class, and they're the ones that are getting their pictures taken with the teacher, with Soke, or whoever's doing a seminar. They're the first ones in line getting their pictures taken. They're the ones wearing the prettiest uniform. They got all the great plaques. They show up with their group of students, and they're promoting everything, and everything has a business mindset to it. And they have their benefits too, because they provide information, they provide things, opportunities for people to train. You pay them money, and they give you what you ask for, or at least what they're willing to give you. But I mean, they're marketeers. They approach everything from a business mindset. It's a business transaction. What they learn, they're already thinking about how they're going to convert that, teach it to their students, and gain a profit from that. The next video they're going to make, they're going to come back and they're going to do a seminar based on what they learned, or they're going to produce a video or whatever. They're always thinking in business of how I can turn this around and make a profit. And then you have the martial groupies. These are the people that they're not studying the art academically. They're not studying the techniques of the art. They're not interested in making any money. They show up to class because it's social, it's fun. They enjoy the interactions, the people, the relationships. And they have benefits too, because they tend to be really good people, and they add a nice energy to the room, and they're fun, and they're fun, but that's it. They're groupies. They like to just hang out and be in a group, but they're not really going to progress anywhere or add any real value as far as the quality or the performance of the art. But they're important because they establish a relationship. They keep the relationships alive, through their being social and everything else. And they're the ones that want to throw the dojo parties and that kind of thing. So that's really important for dojo as well. And then lastly is you have the rare one, the martial artist. This is the person that has the academics, they have the technical skill, they are good at their relationships with people because they just have that good presence about themselves, but they've taken it to the level of art where they're not limited by any of that stuff. They truly make it something unique, and they, when you see them train, you're just like, wow. I mean, they really embody it. But that's such a rare person to find, because to be that person means that you have to commit yourself and devote yourself to practicing the art correctly, but at the same time being sensitive to understanding what's being taught, but also having that connection with the teacher and the lineage and everything, so that even if it's not written in a book, you still understand it. You get it on a deeper personal level. That's where the artistry comes in. That's the martial artist. So anyway, I'm going to tell you stuff pretty quick, but just to summarize, you have those 5 kinds of people. You have the martial scholars, the guys that know everything, they've read every book, whatever. But their performance is just, it's okay. Then you have the martial technicians, where their way is the only way. They know exactly every detail of this technique, or they can tell you every little piece and part of that technique because they've studied it and practiced it, but that's the only way that they really truly train. They're limited by that because there's just one way and that's it. And then you have martial marketeers where everything is a profit center. Everything is a business in their mindset. They're already looking at how they're going to be able to make a profit on that. And then you have martial groupies where they're the party people. They like to socialize and hang out and have fun and everything else. And then you have the martial artists, the guys that just take it to the next level. And in fact, interestingly, a lot of people who are real true quality martial artists, oftentimes you find that they are working, I kind of almost want to say independently, like they're on their own agenda. They're focused on their art, like an athlete who goes into the gym and just trains and tunes everybody else out. And but at the same time, a true martial artist embodies the art, embodies the training, and they see the value of other people, so they have good, healthy relationships. They're very stable and centered in themselves. There's no ego. They're humble, and they train to perfect the art. And that's the biggest point: is that you always have to ask why you're in class. If you're in class because you want to get better at what you do, that's a good motivation. If you're in class because you're trying to build new relationships, okay. If you're in class because you're trying to make some sort of business improvement, business opportunity, that's something else. So, I mean, you always have to ask yourself why you're in class. A martial artist is in class because they're a sponge and they're looking to absorb. And at the same time, they're looking to perform because they want to get that feedback so that they can learn how to be better at what they do. And at the same time, they're trying to build that sense of things. They're trying to capture the essence of the training and the art so that the true artistry can then come out. High level stuff, that is higher level stuff. Not everybody can be that way. Not everybody functions that way because it requires a real commitment of your mind and your body, and that's very difficult for people to do. So I'm not trying to judge or put down anybody. If you fit in any one of those categories, that's cool. And if you're happy with what you're doing, that's cool too. As long as you're not taking advantage of anybody or hurting anybody, you do what makes you happy. But I think that if you look in your classes, you will identify those 5 people. And when you're having relationships with the people that are in there, training relationships and stuff and friendships, kind of knowing where people fit in one of those categories actually does help you because you know kind of where they fit. You know what their motive is for being there. And I'm going to leave it at that. But that is very, very helpful. Especially if you can protect yourself from certain behaviors that maybe you're looking for something different than what they're offering. But again, I don't want to get too far into that. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave me a comment, like and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. I need subscribers. Subscribe and like my videos. And please comment if you have anything you want to add. Maybe there's some other types that I didn't identify here that come across your mind. Share a funny story. Please don't name drop. I don't want to get into any sort of bad mouthing anybody, but share a funny story. Let me know, and certainly share this video with people you think that might enjoy it. So anyway, thanks for stopping by and watching this video. And as I always keep saying, be happy, be healthy, and no matter what, keep training, keep going. All right. Thank you.